Hi guys. Okay, I'm sorry I lost you there. It looks like we had a little bit of a connection problem, so hopefully you guys are able to get back on and see the video. I'm gonna kind of pick up where I left off, just in my living room here. So I'll let a few of you get back on here and before I start talking about the canvas piece and how I decided to hang that. But I'm going to flip the camera around and take you back into the living space. So again, I'll just kind of start talking. This is the sectional I was just talking about that I purchased locally, and it is from England. It was a customized piece. It comes in 7 different pieces. And I always encourage people when you're buying something this large to always think about the future. So if you ever think that there's a possibility you might move down the road, this isn't going to fit in every single home that you move into. So when I designed this piece, when I was selecting it, I made sure that we got it in several pieces so that I could move it around and put it into many different configurations. So this actually comes apart into 7 pieces, and I can move the pieces around. I can flip them. I can make this side longer instead of this side. So those are things to consider when you're buying huge oversized pieces, is how they're going to fit into this home and maybe future homes that you have. So always keep that in mind, and make sure when you're buying an oversized piece that it's actually going to fit through your door as well. We're lucky we have 3-foot wide doors here, but not all homes have that benefit. And I have had in the past had to take out a living room window to get a couch in. So something to keep in mind. So I'll just go back to where I was when the other video crashed there. So this is a canvas that I purchased at Winners a few years ago, and it's been hung on my wall ever since. I love it. I love the colors in it. It pulls everything that I love, but it was lacking. And so I recently decided to take a piece of plywood and stain it. And it's about 3.5 inches wider than the actual canvas all the way around. And I mounted that on the wall and then hung the canvas on it, and it just made it pop right off the wall and made it look more finished. And I've always had kind of a love-hate with canvases, that I always feel like they need some type of framing around them to make them stand out. And this is kind of a perfect example of that. So I have posted a before and after picture of how those looked on my Facebook page as well, so you can skim through and find that. But what else can I show you? So we've got our little tray here. Just to add something to the end table, it's just a vase that I picked up with some colors that I love, and again, they pull out of the canvas. This is a little party light piece. And I had this salt lamp that I liked, and it's in a little base, kind of similar to what it's in. And I just tucked it inside of the party light container, and I actually like it better than its original container in there. So sometimes just kind of doing little things, thinking outside the box to make things look a little bit different. And this lamp here that I have, hopefully you can all see it there, was a little bit too short when I put it on the end table. So I just found this old book and propped it up on there, and that gave it just enough height that I liked the way it looked. So you can do little things like that to get your height on things when you need to. Little old books are kind of a great little way to do that. Now I want to show you, and I hope you can see with this light because it's really hard with the light glaring off, my curtain rods. And this one's a little bit long, but my curtain rods, I needed really, really long ones, and you guys all know how expensive those can get. So what I did is I went to the Home Depot and I picked up dowels. Really cheap. I can't remember offhand how much they are, but I think they're about 50 cents a foot maybe. And I stained them in a nice dark stain. And then I just picked up these little brackets that held them, and I stained them the same color. And got myself some nice inexpensive curtain rods that didn't break the bank. And I could cut that a little bit shorter. I think somebody has moved my curtains when they were playing. So normally I have these curtains sitting out a little bit further. They would be wrapped around the dowel. The reason for doing that is when you hang your window treatments, yeah, and I need to go fix this, but I'll do that later. So when you're hanging window treatments, you want to start your curtains right on the edge of your window. So they're just hiding that trim. And then you want to hang them about 6 to 8 inches past your window frame. And what that does is it gives the appearance of a larger window. And in this case, my windows are quite big, but it just gives more of a, it kind of fools the eye. It tricks the eye into thinking that the windows are bigger than they actually are. So if you have really tiny windows, that's kind of a good trick. And in here, my curtains, sorry guys, I'm trying to get this to go around so that you can actually see. So I might have to pull this blind down a bit. There, hopefully that's better. So in here, you'll notice that my curtains are hung quite high. The reason for that is because we have these lovely electric heaters. And I hate them, but we can't get around them, so I have to do what I can. So because of fire hazards, I did have to raise my curtains up a little bit higher than I normally would. Typically, you want to have your curtain rods about 6 inches above the top of your window to give you, just to give you that height. And it just gives a better appearance to your window. So that's just a little tip on there. So we have this big hallway area, and I've closed the door to my bedroom because I didn't make the bed today. That's right, I didn't. But anyway, we have this quite large hallway area, and normally there's a clothing rack here, and I air dry some of my clothes there, but I put that away for today. Anyway, so we just have this little table set up that adds a little bit of warmth to this little hallway, and a sign that came from my store when we had it open. And I took these, this is again just that thinking outside the box. We had these candle holders that came in at the store, and I loved the chunkiness of them. And I also got in these orbs that look like yarn balls made out of galvanized metal. And I just put them on top of the candle holders, and I love the way they look. So you don't always have to stick a candle on top of a candlestick holder. You can put birds on there. You can put greenery balls. Sometimes these kind of orbs here look absolutely fantastic set on top of them too. So always lots of different things that you can do with stuff like that. So don't always be feeling like you have to stick with the norms. Play with things, have fun with them. I took this party light pillar holder and I stuck an orb in there that lights up. And it's just a cute little holder to put that on. So just some fun little things that you can do. I love this, this mirror. I got this a long time ago from a local shop, and the shelf actually slides back and forth so you can make it stick out on one end a little bit longer. So I love unique pieces like that, just something a little bit different. And this is our son's room. So this is a fun little room for kids. He's had it painted like this since he was an infant, and I actually had, the inspiration for this room came from his crib bedding, which I no longer have. But it was, it had all these colors in it. So I decided to take the colors out of there and add these stripes on his wall. And the curtains just picked up awesome. They're actually blackout curtains, so those are fabulous for blocking the cold air. And his bedding I picked up at Sears when we still had it. So there's lots of different ways that you can pull looks together, and when you're looking for inspiration, you can find it in things like pillows and pictures and just things that really grab your eye. If you just fall in love with something, you can pull your colors and your inspiration from that. We picked up this great little rug for him from IKEA. It was just perfect for the bedroom. And he loves this room. We asked him recently if he wants to change it, and he said no. So it's great that when you can pick a color for your child and a look for your child's room that will grow with them, and it'll save you a lot of money on the budget down the road. So, and then I'm going to show you a couple more rooms, and then we'll be done. I do have a little something to tell you guys at the end. So this is our bathroom. Now this bathroom was painted until recently. It was painted that same green I have out in the other spaces, but I decided I wanted some gray in the home, and so I lightened it up and put this fabulous gray color, and I found that awesome shower curtain This, I was struggling to find a shower curtain that picked up the grays and the browns. And so I was using our old one for a while. And then I got lucky. Just one day, I wasn't even looking. I came across this awesome shower curtain at Winners in town. So you won't always find the pieces to finish off your look immediately. And I am an instant gratification person, so I like to have things now. I want it done. If I'm going to start a project, I want it done. But the reality is you won't always find that. So sometimes you have to be patient, and when you least expect it, you will find those pieces that you're looking for. And sorry for the yucky toothbrushes, but I just wanted to show you, this is a little vase that I had picked up, and I thought it would make a great little holder for toothbrushes. So I just clear coated that to protect the wood, and voila, it's a paintbrush holder, or sorry, a toothbrush holder. This is my office. Now, this is the cleanest it's been in a long time, and it's still not to my satisfaction, but I'll give you just a quick view of it. I've got lots of pieces in here that I love. I want to be surrounded by things that make me happy when I'm working, and things that make me feel creative. So, for instance, this awesome chair that I picked up at IKEA, absolutely love that piece, and I love the bright, fun colors in it. It's just a really cheerful chair. And my big flower, this is about 3 feet, and I picked that up at Pier 1 a couple years ago, and it's a piece that I love. And talking about that, a lot of my art pieces you'll find in my home. I used to buy the cheap stuff. I used to budget shop for all my artwork, but I would find myself changing it every 6 months or so. And when I finally started to splurge on the pieces that really grabbed me and I really fell in love with, I've hung on to those pieces for years, and it's saved me probably more money over the long haul than if I had just bought a piece that I kind of liked and then replaced it again. So always keep that in mind. If you fall in love with a piece and you just feel like you can't walk away from it, stop and think in your mind, do I have a spot for it? First off, because if you're not willing to part with something that's in your house and you don't have a spot for it, it's going to sit somewhere and collect dust. But if you feel like you just can't walk away from it, that's probably the piece that you need to buy. And don't be afraid to splurge a little bit. If you're absolutely in love with that piece, grab it up. So this here, I took 2 IKEA shelves that we had, and I just flipped them on their side and got some little baskets for it. And I used this to store my paperwork and some of my client files. It's a small little office, so I don't have a ton of space. And then that big old picture of my kids is up there. That's a pretty old one, but one of my favorites. So again, just surrounding yourself with things that you love. And then over here, and the stuff on the floor, haven't dealt with that yet. This awesome file that I got, and this was again from my store when I opened, but if you guys want something like that for your office, hook up with the Real Deals in Regina or Moose Jaw, and I'm sure they can get one in for you. So that's just my little peek into my office. I love my space and my Cricut machine that I've just figured out how to use, so I've got to make a station for that. But again, like just those pieces that you love. This sign, I love this sign. If anybody is wanting one, I could make one for you because I have gotten into doing more of my sign making. And then this is our spare room, which is kind of got some things heaved around in it, but hopefully you guys can all see that. Again, I've really been drawn to the grays and the blacks, so we had a little bit of fun in the spare room, and this is also a playroom. So behind this door here is this. I love IKEA shelving for storage. It's just the way to go. And I got lucky, and this unit just fit perfectly into this little alcove in the bedroom. So I filled it up with buckets, and those are loaded up with my little guy's toys. And then he's got some of his other big toys up on top, and it's just a great way to store toys and keep them out of the way, but still acts as almost a decorative piece when you're doing it. So this fun little item I actually picked up at a garage sale many, many, many years ago. It was that beautiful brass color, and I just took some high gloss paint and made it into a piece of art. So I think that cost me about $7. Okay, so I'm just gonna flip the camera around. So I hope you guys got some tips out of that. If you have questions about the countertop, things like that I've done, feel free to pop me a message. I also wanted to share with you that we are going to be relocating into town, so we're kind of excited about that. We've been out here for about 10 years, but the house has outgrown us. All but one of our kids has moved out, so we don't need all this space anymore. So if you look, or you know anybody, or you're looking for an acreage, this is fabulous. We have 20 acres out here, 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. I'm not going to show you my bedroom today because it's a mess and I haven't made the bed, but we'll do another tour maybe for that one down the road. So yeah, if you know anybody that's looking for a great home, we have big massive basement in here, double car garage, and it's just a great place. Nice and peaceful out here. We've got great neighbors that help clear our road quite often. So, you know, we'd appreciate the referral if you know somebody that's looking. But thanks for watching today, guys. I hope you got some great tips. And I'm going to go to the gym and try to perk myself up a bit and get over this yucky cold. So have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. And thanks again for watching.